Dear students, in this session we are trying to learn how to develop stiffness matrix by physical approach or structure approach. Okay, so in this last class you have learned what is a stiffness matrix and what is a stiffness influence coefficient. So the stiffness matrix is a matrix which is square matrix and it is an order of n, where n is the degrees of freedom or the kinematic indeterminacy of the structure, and it is going to have that n square elements. If it is an n order n, then there will be n square elements. So Kij, let me say Kij, that is the any element or the stiffness influence coefficient is either the force or moment induced at coordinate, first coordinate I, Ki, the first suffix coordinate I, due to a unit displacement or rotation at coordinate J. So you have to make the degrees of freedom into the coordinates 1, 2, 3, and depending upon you have to find out the stiffness influence coefficient. After finding the stiffness influence coefficient, you have to develop the stiffness matrix. So let us take a very simple problem to understand how to develop a stiffness matrix using physical approach. So I am taking a 2-span continuous beam having span length L and moment of inertia I. So I am going to name it as A, B and C, and now the kinematic indeterminacy or the degrees of freedom for this problem is theta A, theta B and theta C, as you know. So which is equal to 3, that is theta A, theta B and theta C. Okay. Now the structure stiffness matrix will be a 3 by 3 matrix, 3 by 3 square matrix, and there will be 9 elements, structure influence coefficients, to develop the structure stiffness matrix. So the first step is to develop the structure influence coefficient. So let me say that my K is going to have K11, K12, K13, K21, K22, K23, K31, K32 and K33. So our aim is to find all these 9 structure influence stiffness influence coefficients. If you are able to find all these stiffness influence coefficients, you can directly get the structure stiffness matrix. So what is K11? So I am going to represent this theta A, theta B and theta C as the coordinates. Let me say 1, first coordinate, theta B I am going to name it as second coordinate, and theta C I am going to name it as third coordinate. So you have to find out how much moment is induced at first coordinate if you provide a unit rotation at first coordinate. So that is equal to K11. And if when you provide a unit rotation at A, how much moment is induced at 2? So that will be K21. And the corresponding moment induced when you apply a unit rotation at A, that is K31. So you can find K11, K21 and K31. So you can fill the first column. So I am going to start with that. So the first step is apply apply say theta A or the unit rotation at the first ordinate. Either you can call it as theta A or you can name it as d1, the displacement. It is generally written as d1. So apply a unit rotation at node 1 or the first coordinate and arrest all other degrees of freedom. So let me draw in the next page so that it will be very clear to you. So I am applying theta A is equal to 1. So and I am arresting all the other location. So you can see that. So I have applied, see, theta A is equal to 1. Now we have to find out how much moment is induced at this location and how much moment is induced at this A and how much moment is induced at B and how much moment is induced at C. So the basic equation is, you remember, MAB is equal to MFAB plus 2EI by L into 2 theta A plus theta B. I am neglecting the support settlement for the time being. So suppose since there is no applied load, there won't be any fixed end moment. So the fixed end moment is 0 and 2EI by L into 2 theta A and theta B is 0 because we are applying only rotation at the first ordinate theta A. So MAB is equal to 4EI by L into theta A and the theta A is 1 radian, so it is MAB is equal to 4EI by L. So the K11, that is the structure stiffness influence coefficient, that is the moment induced at the first coordinate due to a unit rotation at the first coordinate, is equal to 4EI by L. Now MBA is equal to MFBA plus 2EI by L into 2 theta B plus theta A. Here also MFBA is fixed end moment is 0, 2EI by L and 2 theta B. Here the theta B is 0 plus theta A is 1. So finally you are getting the structure stiffness influence coefficient is 2EI by L. So MBA is equal to 2EI by L. So that is nothing but the moment induced at the second ordinate K2 due to a unit rotation at the first ordinate K1. So that is K21 is equal to 2EI by L. And there won't be any moment transferred at the C if you apply a unit rotation at A. So that is 0 because it is dependent upon theta B and theta C. The moment at C is dependent upon theta B and theta C. Since theta B and theta C is 0, MCB is equal to 0. So that is K31 is equal to 0. So the first column you can fill it right now. So you can see that K11, K21, K31 we have computed. So you can say that I am just trying to fix my structure stiffness matrix here K. It is going to be a 9 elements, so it's going to be 3 by 3 matrix. So K11 we have learned that it is 4EI by L. K21 is 2EI by L and K31 is 0. Similarly, for the second situation, if you want to fill the second column, so second column, you know that second column is K12, K22 and K32. So K12 is the moment induced as the first ordinate due to a unit rotation at second ordinate. K22 is also the moment induced at the second ordinate due to a unit rotation at second ordinate. K3 also moment at third ordinate due to a unit rotation at second ordinate. So we have to apply a unit rotation at the second ordinate and find out the moment induced at the corresponding first, second and third ordinates. So for that reason I am going to apply a unit rotation at the second ordinate, and I am going to restrain other locations. So I am going to apply a unit rotation at the B. So you can see that I have applied a unit rotation. I have applied a unit rotation at B. So this is A and this is B and this is C. And C, now the moment here will be the moment generated, since it is I and this is L, so the moment generated induced will be 4EI by L, and moment transferred at A is equal to, you can see that it will be 2EI by L. So in the last case from the slope deflection equation we have seen that the moment induced will be in the same direction of the applied rotation, and at the location of applying the theta there will be 4EI by L, and farther end it will be 2EI by L. Similarly here also theta B, so the moment here again there will be moment of 4EI by L, and this is also I and this is also L, so that is EI by L, and here the moment transferred is equal to 2EI by L. So you can say that K, this is K12, this is K22 and this is K32. So the value of K12 is 2EI by L, then this is 4EI by L plus 4EI by L, that is 8EI by L, and this is again 2EI by L. So I can directly fill the second column, that is 2EI by L, 8EI by L and 2EI by L. So similarly, if the third step is I have to apply a unit rotation at C, and I have to arrest other location and find out the moment induced. So if I am applying a unit rotation at theta C is equal to 1 or D3 is equal to 1, the moment generated here will be 4EI by L, since it is I and L, and the moment transferred at B will be 2EI by L, and here there won't be any moment 0. So since theta B and theta A is equal to 0, so this is actually K13, this is K23 and this is K33. So it is the moment induced at the first ordinate due to a unit rotation at the third ordinate. So the moment induced at the second ordinate due to a unit rotation at third ordinate, moment induced at the third ordinate due to a unit rotation at the third ordinate. So finally the values are 0, 2EI by L and 4EI by L. So you can see that this is also the symmetric matrix. It is a square matrix, it's a diagonally dominant matrix, and it is a banded matrix. It has satisfied all the properties of the structure stiffness matrix. So this is how we formulate the structure stiffness matrix by physical approach. The only thing is that first and the foremost step is to find out the kinematic indeterminacy and the degrees of freedom, and then corresponding to the kinematic indeterminacy you have to apply unit rotation. If it is thetas, you have to apply unit rotation. If it is displacement, you have to apply unit translation, and then you have to find out the corresponding moments or forces at other locations, and then you have to find out all the stiffness influence coefficients, and then you have to fill the stiffness influence coefficients at the respective locations in the structure stiffness matrix. So now I am going to do one more problem so that you can it will be much more clear for you. So let me take a new problem. So this is a next problem that I am going to discuss. So this is a 3-span continuous beam A, B, C, D, I, 2I, 3 meter, 6 meter and 3 meter. So as you all know, there are three, you can have rotation at A, rotation at B, rotation at C and rotation at D. So the degrees of freedom or the kinematic indeterminacy is 4, that is theta A, theta B, theta C, theta D. So you can make the structure like this. Either you can name it as theta A, theta B, theta D, or you can write it as first D1 displacement at 1, displacement at 2. I am calling it as general displacement. It is not a translation, it is actually a rotation. So just I am naming it as d3 and I am naming it as d4. Actually d1 is nothing. D1 is theta A, d2 is theta B, d3 is theta C, and d4 is theta D. So you are going to have 4 degrees of freedom. 4 rotations are there. Now you know that it is finally the structure stiffness matrix is going to be a K matrix of 4 by 4 matrix. Now we have to fill 1 by 1 columns. The procedure is to have to first take you have to apply a unit rotation at D1 and find out the moments at 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I am I am fixing all other ends, and I am trying to apply a unit rotation at D1. So the moment generated here, suppose it is D1 is equal to 1, so the moment generated is clockwise, you know, and that is 4 EI by L, since it is I and this is L is 3 meters, so 4 EI by L. And the moment transferred at the second ordinate is 2 EI by L, 2 EI by L. L is 3 meter, I is I only, and the moments at C is 0 and moment at D is 0. So you can now easily fill 4 EI by 3, 2 EI by 3, 0, 0, because this is K11, this is K21, this is K31 and this is K41. Now second step is you have to apply so I am going to write here itself a moment a unit rotation at D2. So the picture will be like this. You have to fix this location, and this is a support. You are going to have a moment rotation at here. You have to have a rotation at here. So that is theta D2 is equal to 1 or theta B is equal to 1. So here this is 3 meter and 6 meter. So the moment induced will be, there will be two contribution from the first beam AB and the contribution from beam BC. The contribution from beam AB is equal to nothing but 4 EI by L, that is 3 meter, and the contribution from beam BC is equal to 4E. Instead of I here it is 2I, so 4EI into 2I by L is 6 meter. So that is the total moment, and that is going to be acting in the clockwise direction. 4EI by 3 plus 4EI into 2I by 6, that is again 4EI by 3. So total it will come as 8EI by 3, 8EI by 3. And here it will be, the moment transferred will be 2EI by 3, that is in the clockwise direction. Here the moment transferred will be 2E into 2I by 6. So and here will be 0, here also if it is in clockwise direction, and the value will be 2EI by 3, because 2 and 6 will get cancelled, and finally you will get 2EI by 3. So if I fill it, this is nothing but K12, this is K22, and this is K32, and this is K42. So I am going to fill it in my second column. So that is 2EI by 3, 8EI by 3, and 2EI by 3 and 0. So now the similar procedure I am going to do. The next step is to apply a unit rotation at the third ordinate. So if I am applying a unit rotation at the third ordinate, the picture will look like this. So I am arresting all other location. This is the rotation I have applied. So there will be a clockwise rotation. So this is the clockwise rotation. And now it is clear, this is 3 meter, this is 6 meter, this is 3 meter, this is I, this is 2I, this is I. Now the moment contribution from A, B, C, D. So the moment contribution from BC is again 4E, I is 2I by L is 6, plus moment contribution from C is 4EI by 3. So this is the total moment is again 8EI by 3. The moment transferred at D will be 4EI by L, half of it is 2EI by 3. That is also in clockwise direction. This is also in clockwise direction. The moment transferred at B is equal to again in clockwise direction, half of this. So half of this is 2E into 2I by 6. That is again you can say that 2EI by 3. 2EI by 3, and the moment transferred is here also 0. So if I write this moment contributions in my third column, this is actually the K13, this is K23, this is K33, and this is K43. So if I write the values, 0 will be there, then 2EI by 3 will be there, and 8EI by 3 will be there, and finally 2EI by 3. So this is the third column for the structure stiffness matrix. Now I have the fourth column. I have to fill it. In order to fill the fourth column, you have to apply a unit moment at the fourth ordinate, and others you have to keep it as fixed. And I am applying a unit moment, a unit rotation at fourth location, that is D4 or theta D is equal to unit rotation. You are going to have a moment generated here is equal to 4EI by L is 3 meter, and moment transfer here will be nothing but 2EI by 3. Here will be 0 and 0. So here it is nothing but K14, K24, K34 and K44. So here it is 0, 0, 2EI by 3 and 4EI by 3. Now you just see that 4EI by 3, 2EI by 3, 0, 0. So it is a structure stiffness matrix, it is a symmetric matrix, it is a banded matrix, and it is a square matrix. So in brief, the procedure is you have to identify the degrees of freedom. You have to find out the kinematic indeterminacy. Then one by one you have to take it and you have to apply a unit rotation, and then you have to find out the moments, and then you have to write the columns correspondingly and generate the final structure stiffness matrix. Thank you.